There was a man who left this world a long time ago, but his soul has never stopped following you because he knows something is about to happen. Something that, if you're not protected in time, could change the course of your destiny forever. This isn't just an astrological reading. This is a warning from heaven. And if you are a Sagittarius, then you need to hear this, because your late father is doing everything he can to keep you safe from what's drawing near. Write this down in the comments. I welcome the protection from my Father in heaven. Because the words you write today are not just words, they are a signal for your soul to reconnect with divine light. So tell me, what did he see? Why was your late father so concerned that he had to intervene from beyond this world? And why, among millions of souls, did he choose to protect you, Sagittarius? Sit down, take a deep breath, and let me tell you what the stars have begun to reveal about you, about a gift from above, and about something that's on its way, a turning point only the truly ready can walk through. There's something not many people know about Sagittarius. You are not just an adventurer with a bow in your hand. You were born to redraw the map of light for this world. People see your joy, your energy, your love for freedom, but they never see the long nights where you sit in silence, facing yourself. In the birth chart, Sagittarius is the child of Jupiter, the planet of blessings, expansion, and faith. But few realize, before blessings come, you must often walk through a road of doubts, disappointments, and sometimes betrayal. You were born to lead the way. But you're also the loneliest traveler, because no one seems to keep up with your vision. And in those moments of solitude, you have no idea that there are eyes still watching over you. Perhaps you once dreamed of a hand reaching out from a fog. Or you woke up in the middle of the night, feeling as if someone had gently touched your shoulder. Maybe it was an old song suddenly playing in a cafe, right when you thought about your family. Or an old photograph slipping out of a book you'd long forgotten. None of it is random. The universe doesn't play with coincidences. And the souls in heaven, especially your late father, certainly don't. He's trying to say something, not with words, but with energy. With a presence unseen, but deeply felt. If there's one thing time has taught me, it's this. Love does not end when the heart stops beating. It only changes form, and sometimes becomes even stronger than before. Your father may have been a silent figure in your life, too busy, too strict, or taken away far too soon, but after crossing to the other side, his soul became a guardian, allowed to appear at the right time, in the right moment. When you're about to face something he can't stop, but he can warn you about. Think back, Sagittarius. Have you felt uneasy lately, without knowing why? Have old memories with your father resurfaced, some beautiful, some painful? Do you feel as if you're being tested again, just when all you wanted was rest? If you do, then you're receiving the signal, a sign that something is coming, something big, and you need to awaken so you don't miss it. You are Sagittarius, the soul traveler. You were not born to run from life. You were born to face it and overcome it. And because you are so strong, because you can carry storms in silence, those above worry for you even more, because they know you won't ask for help. You'll carry it all. You'll smile, you'll inspire others, and hide your tears in places no one will ever see. I once told a Sagittarius, you don't have to be the light for the whole world if you're slowly burning out your own flame. And she cried, because it was the first time she realized she was allowed to be vulnerable. And if you're listening to this now, let yourself be vulnerable too, because even the strongest warriors deserve to be held. And your father, from the other side of heaven, is doing just that, quietly, sacredly. Astrology calls Sagittarius the bearer of truth. But before you're allowed to speak truth into the world, the universe always asks you to walk through your own darkness first. And maybe this time, what's approaching is a truth too big, too raw, too real for you to fully face just yet. That's why your father, his spirit, is stepping in. Because sometimes protection doesn't arrive in thunder. It arrives in silence, in a deep breath taken in the middle of the night, in a dream you can't explain, or in a sudden memory that brings tears without warning. If you are going through something like this right now, write this beneath the video. I open my heart to receive divine protection from my Father. It's not just a sentence, it's your soul saying yes to the presence that's already standing beside you. I know not everyone believes in this, but you don't need logic to feel love. You only need silence and the willingness to let your heart speak. So let me ask you, Sagittarius, if he were here, right now, standing beside you, would you dare to believe he's been helping you all along? Because something is coming, not to break you, but to clarify what you've only sensed in shadows, to guide you into a new chapter, stronger, awakened, and divinely protected. But before we step into that, there is a truth you may have never dared to face. Your father, he already saw what you're about to walk into, and he could not allow your soul to enter that place without giving you one final message. If what I'm sharing touches your heart like this video, share it with someone you love, because maybe someone else out there needs this protection just as much as you do. And next, I'll tell you why your father is intervening now, and what astrological shift is about to affect your life in ways that may change everything. A truth never revealed before is right ahead. Are you ready to hear it? There are moments in life when everything seems calm, but then begins to tremble from the inside. Not because the world around you shifted, but because the truth has finally arrived. And for Sagittarius, that moment is now. In your birth chart, Saturn, the planet of karma, restriction, and soul lessons, is currently in Pisces, forming a tense opposition to the Sun in Sagittarius. This is not a wave you can outrun, especially not you. Family, belief, secrets buried for years, they're starting to rise like bubbles from the deep ocean floor. You may have felt it already. Sudden tense conversations, a look from someone close that made you feel judged, or a memory, a long-forgotten moment, returning in a dream, so vivid it leaves your chest tight. This is when truth starts surfacing, and there's no longer any room to look away. And then, strangely enough, someone reappears. Someone you thought was gone from your life forever. They return, not with an apology, but with a familiar smile so disarming it makes you drop your guard. But remember, not everyone who returns brings love with them. Some come back because they can feel the light just beginning to rise in your life. And light always attracts both the divine and the dangerous. Your Father in heaven knows. That's why he sent you a warning. You're about to walk through a door, but not everyone is meant to walk through it with you. And that's not just a metaphor. In the world of souls, whenever you're about to step into a new chapter of destiny, there are always other energies trying to attach themselves to you, to pull you back, to feed off your light. I've witnessed this hundreds of times. Every time someone is about to graduate on their spiritual journey, they're tested, not with obvious chaos, but through relationships that appear harmless. And the real question is never, do they love me? The real question is, do I still love myself enough not to go back into the dark? You're being tested, Sagittarius. Not with disasters, but with things that are almost right, almost safe, almost love. They appear like an open hand reaching out right when your heart is tired. But you must be clear-eyed. You must be brave enough to see. Not every hand reaching for you is sent from heaven. And your Father, that soul watching over you, knows this. He can't stop you from making mistakes, but he can whisper, he can nudge you gently toward awareness. When you're about to step on a thorn, he moves it first. When you're about to fall, he loosens the rope that might choke you. And when you're about to open your heart to the wrong person, he stirs a sudden doubt inside you. You've grown up, but you're still the child in my heart. Can you hear that? Not with your ears, but with your inner knowing. That quiet sense that you're being protected by something sacred you cannot explain. So what's coming next? A new door. A shift in your home, your work, your spiritual path. An old relationship may reappear, not to reconnect, but to teach you how to truly let go. A family secret may be revealed, causing you to look at your childhood through an entirely different lens. This is the moment your destiny pivots. And in moments like these, people often say, I wish my father were here. But Sagittarius, he is here. Not in the form you once knew, but in the signs that repeat themselves. In the voice that calls from deep within. In those sudden moments when you stop and quietly begin to cry. If what I'm saying stirs something inside you, write this in the comments. I walk through the new door with light and protection from heaven. Because your words are not just a declaration, they are a message to the universe. I am ready. Be cautious of those who return just when your soul is most tender. Watch the family secrets begin to surface. Remember your dreams, the accidental phrases you hear, the intuition that suddenly intensifies. They are messages from your father. And most importantly, don't lose your faith, because faith is the only key that can unlock the door you're standing so close to. Right after this, you'll come to understand there are things still unforgiven, and that's why neither you nor he can yet be fully free. Why the wounds between you and your father may be the very reason you haven't walked through that door, and how you can finally heal that sacred bond so that both your soul and his can ascend in peace. You've come this far, don't turn back now. There is something you need to hear before the door opens forever. Many Sagittarians are born with a silent wound, the wound called father. Some lost him too early, before they even learned to say dad. Some grew up beside him, but every meal was eaten in thick, aching silence. Some only remember the stern gaze that made you stop expressing how you truly felt. Do you remember the last time your father laughed freely? The sound of his heavy footsteps coming home at night? The scent of his worn shirt blended with cigarette smoke? The way his rough hand landed on your shoulder? Awkwardly but sincerely? Did you ever wish, just once, to hear him say, "I'm proud of you"? For Sagittarius, a fire sign that longs so deeply to be seen by the ones they love most, the absence of a father's love often leaves a space so vast you try to fill it with achievement, with independence, with being stronger than necessary. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what if my father also grew up in lack? What if he never learned how to love, so he didn't know how to give it? Spiritual wounds don't end in one lifetime, they are inherited. And the irony is, a child of fire like you was chosen to be the one to heal the bloodline. I'm not saying it's fair, and I'm not saying you don't have the right to be angry. You do. You have every right to feel regret, to feel pain, to feel empty. So tell me, what is it you've been carrying in your heart, too heavy to name, too sacred to look at? What's the name of the pain you've never dared to face? Because at some point, you will have to choose to continue carrying that wound as your destiny, or to step beyond it and let your soul finally be free. And here's the spiritual key most people never find. When you forgive your father, you don't just release yourself, you release him too. From karmic weight, from silent guilt in the world beyond this one. I once read the birth chart of a Sagittarius who had carried deep resentment for her father for over 40 years. She was successful, independent, fierce, but she couldn't truly open her heart to anyone. And it wasn't until she wrote a letter, never sent, with just one line, "I forgive you, Dad, not because you were right, but because I deserve to live without carrying your burden anymore." Her life began to shift. She cried more than ever before. But from that moment on, she never felt truly alone again. You see, forgiveness doesn't make the past prettier. It simply makes the present lighter. And right now, if you close your eyes, can you picture him? Your father standing in front of you. He doesn't say much. He just bows his head, places his hand over his chest, and whispers, "If you can hear me now, I just want to say, I'm sorry, and I am proud of you." You don't need to believe it right away. Just open your heart, even slightly, and let the light from heaven fill the space that once felt so painfully empty. If this touches you, write this in the comments. I forgive and I choose freedom, for myself and for my father. Because your words could be the start of a transformation that shifts your entire family lineage and allows your father to truly become the angel who protects you. Because maybe what still lingers for him isn't what he did wrong, but the pain he left in your eyes. And when you forgive, you don't just give him peace. You give yourself the chance to love the world again, without the fear of being abandoned. Soon, a sacred gift is coming your way. Not a material one, not a fleeting piece of luck, but a true awakening, a soul-deep transformation that only comes when you are truly ready. You've forgiven, you've surrendered, and now you're about to receive. Something from heaven is drawing near. Not everyone can see it, but those who are brave enough to forgive and to heal will feel it. And you, Sagittarius, you are one of the few chosen to receive this gift. There is a moment in the journey of healing when you stop seeing yourself as the victim of fate and begin to realize you were the one chosen to transform it. And when you step into that knowing, the door of destiny opens. Not because you knocked long enough, but because you finally understood why it was ever closed. That is where you now stand, Sagittarius, with a heart that has bled, but never stopped searching for meaning, with eyes that once reflected loss, but now follow the light, not from outside, but from within. In astrology, your ruling planet Jupiter doesn't just represent luck. It stands for expansion of consciousness, faith, vision, and a hope that surpasses human limitations. And now, as Jupiter moves closer to the galactic center, this isn't just a cosmic phenomenon. It is a divine invitation to become the most sacred version of yourself. You are no longer someone just trying to survive. You are becoming someone who carries light for others. And for souls like that, gifts from heaven don't arrive as money or chance. They arrive as awakening, as a clear mirror reflecting back the real you, unfiltered, unmasked, and finally, boom. You might be wondering, what is this gift? I won't define it for you, because every soul receives that gift in a different way. For one person, it may be the first dreamless night of peaceful sleep in years. For another, a long-lost hug from a child they thought they'd lost forever. And for you, maybe it's a quiet, soul-deep knowing that you've done enough, that you are enough, and that now you deserve peace. I don't know where you are on that journey, but if you're still here, still listening, that means the gift is already very near. Your Father knows what you truly need, not what you once begged for, but what your soul has long been missing: recognition, a holy acknowledgement from the heavens themselves, that you have lived bravely, that you have loved, fallen, risen, and never once gave up. And sometimes the greatest gift is realizing you are never alone. You are only being tested to prove yourself worthy of the one who's been watching over you all along. I can't hold you in my arms forever, your Father says, but I can place my hand on your shoulder every time you're about to fall. If you feel this message reaching into your heart, write this down in the comments. I receive this gift from heaven with deep gratitude. Don't be afraid to open up, because maybe your words will be the light that leads another soul out of the dark. And Sagittarius, when you pass through this moment, you'll realize pain was never your enemy. It was your old teacher, sent to show you how to love yourself more deeply than you ever had before. So now I ask you, do you have the courage to believe that even in loss, there's a sacred plan meant just for you? And if you do, what will you do with the gift that's about to arrive? Will you keep it to yourself, or will you use it to help heal someone else, just like someone once helped you? In your Father's final whisper, there is something you've never heard him say out loud, and it just might change the way you walk through the rest of your life. You have received the gift. But there's still one more thing waiting for you on the other side of this moment. Dear Sagittarius, you've made it here. We've walked together through pain, through memory, through invisible doors within the soul. You have faced the wound called Father, and for the first time, you've dared to name it. No more hiding, no more pretending. And now, as the gate of destiny slowly opens, that Father from heaven has one last thing to say. Not a promise to shield you from every storm. He knows you are strong enough to endure. Not an apology for all that couldn't be changed. He trusts you've already understood and let go. What he offers now is a message from a soul who's become pure light. You've grown into more than I ever dreamed you could be. I no longer have a body to hold you close. But every time you feel defeated, every time you fall to your knees and think you can't go on, know this: the light you feel is me, touching your heart. And I want you to know this, Sagittarius. You don't need to become anyone else to be worthy of heaven's love. You just have to be exactly who you are, cracked, tender, radiant. Because it's through those very cracks that your Father's light can finally enter. If there's a memory with your Father you've never dared to tell, write it down. A moment, a sentence left unsaid, a feeling you've been holding in your chest for years. Because sometimes, all it takes is one person to speak, and dozens of hearts begin to open. Life will continue to test you. There will still be losses. People will still walk away. You'll still question the world again and again. But from this point forward, you will never have to walk alone again. Because now, you know, there is a soul walking beside you, silently, lovingly, eternally. And now, This is my invitation to you, the one who made it to the end of this journey. If your heart has trembled, if your soul has found healing, write this down below. I choose to walk forward with my Father's light and never look back. It's more than just a sentence. It's a soul's vow to the road ahead. A path no longer driven by pain, but led by love. And if you know someone who carries a wound like yours, share this with them. Because you never know, one small act from you today might just save a heart that's quietly fading in the dark. Dear Sagittarius, you've been strong enough to survive, and now you are soft enough to love yourself again, to love your father again, to love the world again. With a heart that's been made whole, you are the torch of the soul. Keep burning bright, because what lies beyond this door is greater than anything you've ever dreamed of. And if you're ready, I'll meet you in the next video, where your awakening truly begins, where you are no longer the one searching for meaning, but the one who becomes the meaning for others.